What's going on today, guys? Welcome back to DC Unplugged, and today we're reviewing the Mukuta 9 Plus. So let's get straight into it. So this is the latest offering from Mukuta. This is the Mukuta 9 Plus. So the first time I ever actually reviewed a scooter was actually on the Mukuta 10 Plus, which is actually Mukuta's, at the moment, their top of the range scooter. So this is something now that they've actually brought into their lineup, something a little more slower and more docile for the average consumer. This is an amazing scooter, not only to look at, but also in its tech and features as well, which we'll run through in this video. So, who's this scooter really built for? Well, it's more built for someone that is after a really nice daily commuter, that is after reliability and overall really quality and beautiful suspension. So we'll go through all these specs and features on this scooter and a little bit more, maybe even a test ride at the end of the video. So the Mukuta 9, as much as it's impressive with its charms and looks, it actually packs quite a bit punch. So this is actually a 48-volt system, 15.6 amp hour battery, and actually puts out 2,400 watts of peak power through its two dual motors. So you've got motor at the front and the back, and you can actually select to actually keep it in a single motor, reserving some power for and not having to go so fast all the time. So very, very cool. Let's get you up and close and let's show you some really cool features that I personally like about the scooter and I think are worth mentioning. One of those impressive features is actually located right here. Yes, they're charge ports, but they've actually got springs, so don't have to worry about clipping them down and keeping all the dirt out of it. They're just simply, as soon as you unplug it, keeps the schmutz out of it. Good thinking, Mukuta. And here's another one. And the other one's just here. Now this might look like an ordinary headlight, but it actually has AirTag just written here. You get a little tool with your Mukuta and you actually have to undo this and actually put an AirTag inside of there. There's a little spot behind this headlight, covered by 2 screws, and that actually allows you to put an AirTag in there. So you can track your scooter just in case it gets stolen. Very nifty. Here's another one. So another really cool feature as well is just located here and on the back here. Now these are actually to adjust your suspension with an Allen key that gets supplied to you with your scooter by Mukuta, so you can actually adjust the suspension for more firm or softer ride. Not a bad deal, and as well as that, you get to make the scooter feel exactly how you want it, which I find is very, very cool to do. Another feature is actually hidden right here. There's a handle here. This scooter actually comes as a removable battery. To do that, able to be removed just like this. So while your scooter's on, you can probably see a little lock symbol just here near the battery readout, if I can show you this there. So the little lock symbol. So what we want to do is we just want to go over here, hold the mode button, brings up a PO1, we just press up, which then unlocks it, puts it into 1, we then hold, and then we just turn the scooter off. A little electronic buzzing noise will come from here, allowing us to actually remove our battery. Very cool. Now, while this might seem like a gimmick, it isn't actually. This is going to help you actually lower the weight of your scooter. So if you live in a set of stairs, or you live in an apartment where you can lock your scooter downstairs and you want to still charge your scooter but you don't want to bring it up with you, you can actually charge your scooter just by the exact same charge port that's located on the top of your scooter. It's actually on the battery itself. So you can actually charge the battery for your scooter away and out of the scooter, allowing you to not only make the scooter lighter for transport reasons, for getting in and out of cars, but also charge it separately so you can keep your scooter locked up in a shed or downstairs if you don't want to pick it up. And then after you've done that, simply plug it back in. It'll electronically lock so you can't remove it again, and she's good to go. Good safety feature too, for people not being able to actually steal your battery. Got any, Mukuta? Another really cool thing worth mentioning too is the rear mud flap actually swoops all the way down. And it'll actually, if you do end up going over something and making yourself mess, you won't actually get any spray come up onto your back, which is amazing. So if you do end up getting over like a little bit of a, mud puddle or water, you're not going to get any splash with the old skid mark up the back here. So really, really cool. And it's also for the front, it's actually buried all the way over, which is really nice touch. So very, very cool. So of course here guys, this is our screen. We've actually got a twist throttle for the first time in the Mukuta range. So it's actually, that is your throttle. We just twist that to actually make it go forward. And we've also got fully hydraulic front and back brakes on both sides, which is really nice to have. You obviously got your power button there, your M button, your mode switch to toggle up and down to go from Eco, Sport and Race. Moving across here, we've got that awesome display currently turned off. You can turn that on for aesthetic reasons. And that is our screen right there. Unfortunately, it does wash out a little bit from the sun, but that's to do with pretty much almost any screen. Moving along here, we actually do have these, which actually allow us to twist these down and actually fold the scooter into a more compact form. So you fold that down, making a very slim form factor. Over here, we've got our dual motor switch here. Don't know why it's called DDM, but it's cool though. When you turn it on, it actually does light up when you actually press it in. And here we've got our indicator switch for both left and right, and just a normal grip. Down here, you'll see that there's a little hook here. This is actually for folding the scooter down. So you use that clip to then fold into the bottom down right there. And I shall show you how to do that right now. So folding down your Mukuta 9 is actually the most simple thing to do. You just pull on this latch here, remove the little hook, fold it down, and use that to latch it in. Rubber coated so it doesn't scratch it, and then you can pick it up. Same thing but in reverse. We just pull this straight up, grab the latch here, put it in, snap it closed, you're good to go. So being a dual motor scooter, it's actually quite difficult to get stuck on any hill that it won't go up. It's very powerful for those times where you need it most, and that is obviously going up a big hill. So the fact that this thing is the price that it is, how comfortable it is, I have actually tuned the suspension on this particular scooter to actually suit my needs and how I want the scooter to feel. But the suspension is absolutely beautiful, and I do really, really like the way this is. So, and the fact that you can actually change the suspension exactly to your liking is a very, very, very trick thing that I personally love about this Mukuta. Another worth mentioning too is this scooter does come with its like a bell, or in this case it does have a horn. However, it is quite quiet and it almost sounds like more like a mosquito, which I'll demonstrate right now. I can barely hear that. Funny as, but yeah, it's you don't really, I have used it a couple times and it didn't really move anyone, and I was like right behind them. They could barely hear me, but for regulations, obviously for bringing it into Queensland or Australia in general, it has to be fitted with a safety warning device. So yes, well, it's not the loudest out of the scooter range of all the scooters I've tested. It's definitely one of the quietest, but it's there. Now, pointing out some bad features like said horn, there is a couple that do really bug me. So another one is this, and I'll show you now. The selection and where you select. So currently it is in Eco. So to go up a gear, you have to push up, which is kind of the backwards way of going down to where you want. So even though it's going down the screen, you're pushing up on the D-pad. This can be quite confusing when you're trying to get into a higher speed mode and be quick, because you think that down's going to get you down and you end up going slower. Now another one is actually pretty obvious to me. I don't really like the twist throttle function. It's not really my thing. I don't really like the thought of it, because if you get someone that's not used to dirt bikes or anything like that, they twist that, they will get locked into, because the scooter's accelerating and you aren't sitting on a seat, you will get locked into full acceleration very quickly, and most people panic and will either bail off the scooter or just crash into a stopped object. Now obviously it's not all bad though. There's a lot of pluses, and one of the biggest ones for me is this beautiful gold color. It looks absolutely stunning and very eye-catching. We've got a lot of cool features like that NFC, like the air tag. We've also got this rubberized deck to stop you from slipping. There's lots of pluses, and they're just the small minor things that I find that are a bit annoying when it comes to ownership or when I've ridden it. So definitely keep those in mind for when you're deciding to purchase. So I will be doing a proper range test on this scooter to find out exactly how long it goes for. It's claiming 70 kilometers to about 80 kilometers. So we'll definitely run a range test on the scooter to figure out if it actually will do those. But anyway guys, if you have enjoyed this video and this has helped you figure out what you want to buy as your next scooter, please give us a like, maybe even think about subscribing, and we'll see you all in the next video. And thank you all so much for watching and subscribing to the channel. Anyway, we'll see you in the next video.
Call it payback. Don't say I didn't warn ya. Stay mad, I know you wanna. This might hurt, but that's just karma. That's just